Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Still doing the dang thing. Okay, so you know when you watch TikTok and the girlies are like de-influencing XYZ? Let me be the one to de-influence locks. No, not locks. Hold on. I'm gonna be de-influencing lock extensions, and not in the way you think. I'm not here to tell you not to get lock extensions. I'm not here to dog lock extensions. This is not that. So if you thought it was that, visually packaged in a nice bow, lock extensions seem like a great idea. But I've told you the pros and cons. I'm going to tell you the reality of the fact, okay? Here are just some of the reasons why it's not as good as it may seem. Maybe it's not the best option for you. Just to let you guys know, to be transparent, I've only had one lock extension journey, so I'm biased. When it was still brand spanking new, okay? There was just one type of locks and, you know, very new, very niche. I'm only speaking on my experience with my lock extensions, okay? That's what I'm going to base all of my information off of, and like just working in the industry as well, a little bit, because I don't really work with lock extensions per se. I am in the industry. Let me tell you something. Ooh, get closer. It just doesn't look as natural as it may seem. I would say there are more natural textures for sure, but you also have to take into account like your hair also needs to match that texture. So if your hair doesn't look like the lock extensions, eventually we will be able to tell.
Okay, editing me. What I should have also mentioned is that it is hard to tell what your locks are going to look like. Your hair goes through so many different phases. Your locks look so different in each phase that it's really kind of hard to assume what they're going to look like. You can only hope that they come out the way you want them to, but they go through so many different phases and it differs from hair texture to hair texture. And sometimes your lock down here is going to look different from your lock up here, right? I definitely didn't think my locks were going to be this thick because I had naturally thin hair. So stuff like that are also a factor. Unless you go to a trusted loctician seeing all these different types of textures in hair, they will have a better educated guess on what your hair might look like, but even then it could still come out different based on like size, methods you choose, and just upkeep in general. So also keep that in mind.
It just really depends on how long your hair is and how long the lock extension is. When I first got my lock extensions, you could not tell, but once my hair started to grow out, yeah, you could tell. I could tell, and it looked, I don't know if it's the way I kept them up or whatever, but by that end leg, it looked a little crazy, But I've seen a lot of really well made, well done lock extensions where I'm even second guessing myself. So I'm not gonna say that's all of them, or I'm not gonna say that is the case, but for me it sure was. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I would just say be aware that that could be you. Say you got the lock extensions, they're installed, honey, okay? Don't make the same mistake as me and get 1,001 products. They're there collecting dust because I only really used 5. I made a video where I talked about my favorites, but I really only stick to the favorites. Don't make the same mistake as me and pick up everything in the hair store that had the word lock on it. And I wasted a lot of money that way when in reality, it doesn't need to be that expensive, especially in the beginning. Having locks is not going to break your pockets in no way. Not locks, not lock extensions. Lock extensions have no additional maintenance to it. Maybe a couple of repairs. Fortunate for me, I've never had any of them fall out, but I did have to repair like maybe 1 or 2 eventually during the leg end. But
I'm just saying that's my experience. I know for others, they have had to have multiple and many repairs because of their upkeep. So for some, repairs are more often than for others, if that makes sense.
I would say if you don't know what it does, especially if you're just like, oh, I want to pick this up, just leave it there. What you really need is a loctician. Find you a loctician, stylist, whatever the case may be. Like, find you someone to do your hair and they will tell you what to use in your hair. If it's like something you want to do your retwists yourself or whatever. Truthfully, less is more. You'll actually be shocked how easy it is to have buildup. And I feel like it's hard to tell with lock extensions because it's not your hair, so you don't get buildup in the same way you would with your natural hair. And it's hard to kick a habit of like eco styling. And I'm saying like it's a journey, so I have tripped up here or there I was very scared of getting product buildup because I just had bad habits. It's very hard to stray from what you know when this is what you've been doing, right? Lock extensions, it's very easy to fall down that path because you're not seeing the way it's impacting your hair. You're just not there yet. So your hair looks great, you don't think anything is wrong. I would say like a couple months later you start seeing that white ring of death. Yeah, lock extensions really give you that illusion that your hair is healthy and your hair is great. You forget that eventually your hair is going to grow out and your hair is not going to look like this. You putting like beeswax in your hair to get it slicked down once it's grown out, you putting Eco Styler gel in it. I feel like it's hard to conceptualize what that's going to do to your hair in the long run when your hair is already to your butt. You feel me? Like, it's hard to even gauge that. I know it was for me. I don't know for everybody else, but this is what this video is for, to like let you know. Do not try to do repairs on your own. With lock extensions, you're gonna start to panic because your hair is going to start going through the stages in which your lock extensions aren't going through that same phase. I'm telling you, it's gonna start to look a little crazy. When your hair starts to bud, when your hair starts to frizz, you're going to think that there's something wrong initially. You're going to feel a type of way, and I'm only saying that because I felt some type of way when my hair was very different. It looked very different, and it only looked very different because my hair was in the process of locking. Like, now my hair looks fine. Like, I'm not going through any budding phase or anything anymore. But when it first started, oh, I was fighting back tears every retwist, bro, because I was trying to even repair it myself with a single crochet needle. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. And you can cause more damage trying to fix it yourself because you could fix it incorrectly. Like me, I was fixing incorrectly just because I'm like, oh, it's just a quick fix. But you could, in the long run, do more damage to your hair. So don't do that. You could just be tearing your hair out and you don't even know. Now, 2 years down the line, when your hair is thinning in that particular area, you're gonna be like, but why? You was trying to do a quick fix when you had them lock extensions. You feel me? So it's like, it's a slippery slope. I would really just suggest finding yourself a loctician. Like, I cannot stress that enough. Find you a professional. In theory, it looks and seems easy, but in reality, there's technique and expertise to it. You don't know what you don't know. So I would say better be safe than sorry, and either talk to your loctician, get a consultation, or like take a course. I feel like there's a big misconception where it's like taking courses are for people who want to go into the industry. I would also say like taking a course will just help you help yourself, like help you understand your hair better and how to take care of your hair better to the best of your ability. It can only help you. I know it's kind of out there because it does cost money and it's pretty expensive for knowledge. I would say it's an investment. Lastly, don't let nobody tell you not to get no lock extensions. I know this video is like de-influencing lock extensions, but really I'm just telling you a cautionary tale. Don't let anybody make the decision for you. I know it seems permanent, but I promise you lock extensions aren't as permanent as you think they are. Just give it some time, at least. But if you always want to go back, you can always go back. People make it seem like you can't go back after that. You could go back. Look at me. I didn't go back, but I went forward. You know, I moved on. So there's different ways you could go when it comes to lock extensions. So don't let nobody, not even me, tell you not to get no lock extensions. Get them lock extensions, okay? Do the thing. And that's all I have for this video. And I'll see you in the, you know what goes. You know how it goes.